7 things a foolish man always says. Stoicism drive. There's a certain kind of man you'll meet in life, the one who fills every silence with noise. He speaks endlessly, yet says almost nothing. His words race ahead of his thoughts. He tries to sound intelligent, but what you really hear is insecurity, restlessness, and a fragile ego hiding behind a loud voice. You can wear confidence like a costume, buy stylish clothes, and quote clever lines, but the truth always escapes through your words. The mouth never lies, it reveals the mind. People may forget your appearance, but they never forget how you made them feel through what you said. The world doesn't listen to your hairstyle or your shoes, it listens to your sentences. Most men expose their foolishness not through their actions, but through their careless words. So today, on Stoicism Drive, we'll explore 7 things a foolish man always says, and how a Stoic man replaces them with wisdom. Because your words are not just sounds, they're the windows to your soul and the mirrors of your discipline. 1. That's not fair. You'll hear weak men say this every day. When someone else gets promoted, when life doesn't give them what they expected, when the girl they like chooses someone else, they mutter, "That's not fair." It's the cry of a man who still believes the world owes him comfort. But here's the truth. Fairness is a myth, a story told by those who cannot face the reality of life. A Stoic knows that life was never meant to be fair. The universe doesn't operate on emotion. It doesn't reward who complains the loudest, it rewards those who adapt the fastest. You get what you fight for. You keep what you're capable of handling. When you say, "That's not fair," you're really saying, "I wanted life to bend to my convenience." That's not strength, that's entitlement. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." The moment you stop expecting life to be fair is the moment you begin to gain power. A strong man studies the battlefield, he doesn't whine about it. He observes, adapts, and conquers. Every time you feel like saying, "That's not fair," remind yourself instead, "This is reality. Let's deal with it." That's how a boy becomes a man. 2. It's not my fault. The modern man's favorite escape hatch. When things collapse, when dreams fail, when relationships fall apart, he hides behind excuses. "It's not my fault. My boss didn't help. My parents didn't support me. She betrayed me." But every Stoic knows this truth. Even when it's not your fault, it's still your responsibility. Blame is a tool of the powerless. Responsibility is the weapon of the strong. Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." The foolish man reacts impulsively, the Stoic man responds consciously. The fool believes the world controls him. The Stoic knows he controls his interpretation of the world. 3. I already know that. This is the most dangerous sentence a man can say, because the moment you think you know everything, you stop learning. The foolish man says it to protect his fragile ego. He's afraid of appearing ignorant, so he interrupts instead of listening. He argues instead of asking questions. But a wise man knows that even in the simplest lesson lies a new layer of truth. Seneca wrote, "While we teach, we learn. Knowledge isn't a trophy to be displayed, it's a garden that must be watered daily." When you say, "I already know that," you shut the door to growth. But when you say, "Remind me again," you open yourself to mastery. Remember this. The fool talks to prove himself right. The wise man listens to become better. Even if you've heard the same truth 100 times, listen again, because one day, the meaning will hit you differently. Perhaps just when you need it most. 4. I don't care. You hear this one everywhere. Men saying, "I don't care," to sound tough, calm, or superior. But it's not strength. It's emotional laziness wearing a mask of control. A Stoic practices detachment, not indifference. There's a huge difference between not being controlled by emotions and not feeling anything at all. When you say, "I don't care," you close off your humanity. You lose the ability to connect, to empathize, to lead. Stoicism isn't about being cold, it's about being clear. The Stoics cared deeply about justice, virtue, discipline, and the well-being of humanity. They simply didn't allow those cares to own them. A foolish man says, "I don't care," because caring takes energy. A Stoic man says, "I choose what I care about." Because energy is sacred, detachment doesn't mean you're numb, it means you are in control. Caring selectively is a superpower, it allows you to focus on what truly matters. 5. I can't help it. Another poison disguised as honesty. You hear it when men lose control of their temper, betray their values, or make reckless decisions. I can't help it. But yes, you can. You simply won't. That's the difference between weakness and discipline. A Stoic man doesn't obey his emotions, he commands them. He trains his impulses like a warrior sharpens his sword. When you say, "I can't help it," you're telling the world that your urges are stronger than your reason, and if that's true, you are enslaved by your own instincts. Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Every time you pause before reacting, you reclaim freedom. Every time you choose patience over anger, clarity over chaos, you win another battle of self-control. Remember, control is the ultimate flex. 6. What's the point? This is the anthem of men who've already surrendered. You'll hear it when life gets tough, when results come slowly, when meaning fades. What's the point? But a Stoic knows, meaning isn't found, it's forged. Purpose doesn't appear, it's built. One disciplined act at a time. When you ask, "What's the point?" you're secretly looking for permission to quit. But life never grants that permission. You either stand tall in the storm or drown in self-pity. Marcus Aurelius said, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." You want meaning? Create it. Through action. Through consistency. Through courage. The foolish man chases instant gratification. The Stoic man plays the long game, because he understands that mastery takes a lifetime. The point isn't to reach perfection, it's to never stop improving. 7. That's just who I am. Perhaps the most dangerous phrase of all. It sounds confident, even self-assured, but it's the anthem of stagnation. It's what people say when they've stopped growing, when mediocrity becomes identity. Life itself is change. You are meant to evolve, to outgrow yesterday's version of yourself. A Stoic knows that progress is not optional, it's the essence of being alive. When you say, "That's just who I am," you chain yourself to your past. But when you say, "I'm working on it," you unlock your future. Growth isn't about rejecting who you are, it's about refining who you are. You can be calm yet powerful, humble yet unshakable. Stop defending your weaknesses as personality traits. The man who seeks mastery never stops chiseling away at himself. A foolish man talks before thinking. A Stoic man thinks before talking, and sometimes he doesn't speak at all. Because the silence of a disciplined man speaks louder than the noise of 1,000 fools. The more you evolve, the less you need to prove. The less you react, the more power you hold. So today, make this commitment. Remove these 7 phrases from your vocabulary. That's not fair. It's not my fault. I already know that. I don't care. I can't help it. What's the point? That's just who I am. Replace them with strength. I'll adapt. I'll take responsibility. I'm still learning. I choose what matters. I control myself. I'll create meaning. I'm becoming better. That's the language of power. That's the mindset of a Stoic. Because at the end of the day, your words shape your world, and your speech reveals who truly governs your life, your emotions or your reason. The foolish man reacts, the Stoic man responds, and that difference defines destiny. So before you speak, pause, ask yourself, is this coming from my ego or from my wisdom? One builds your future, the other destroys it. Remember this, a man who masters his words, masters his world. Be that man. Be Stoic. And if this message resonates with you, don't let it fade. Like, comment, share, and subscribe to Stoicism Drive, where wisdom turns into strength, and your path to inner mastery truly begins.